One Piece is full of amazing happy and badass moments. There can't possibly be anything cursed or terrifying. Like when Shanks returned without Uta and never told Luffy what happened, that was just a regular sad One Piece moment and not secretly evil and demonic, right? Wrong. Uta never came back with Shanks because there's an actual dark secret behind it. We'll get into that along with various other One Piece backstories, like when Law had to hide in a pile of dead bodies to even survive as a child. So drop a like, buckle up, and make sure you are not watching at 3 AM if you even value going to sleep. Let's jump into it. Speaking of Law, I want to get this off my chest. How did he manage to gather 50 whole hearts when becoming a warlord and everyone was just chill with it? Like, he really was carrying around an entire treasure chest full of living, beating human hearts. We're here to talk about Law's backstory and why he had to hide in a pile of dead human flesh. Because Law's hometown was known as the White City for mining amber lead, the inhabitants of this town slowly began to get sick, and each generation would die sooner than the previous until the entire bloodline would be wiped out. Law specifically was doomed to die before adulthood and be the end of his family bloodline. Aside from being very heartbreaking for an entire town to die from this disease, there was a darker force at play. The world government knew about this disease, but they didn't inform anyone, even if it meant the death for the people living there. Then when things got out of hand, the solution that the government came up with was genocide. That's right, instead of helping out the people who were already doomed to die, they just said, and kicked them out the door sooner. Because the government's solution to fixing this problem was just killing everyone sooner, Law's only option to survive was hiding at the bottom of a pile of dead bodies that was being escorted outside of the city. An event that would scar Law for the rest of his life. And speaking of events that would scar a child for the rest of their life, Sanji is no stranger, and neither are those of you who have read the manga. And those of you that watch the anime only have been spared of the dark truth of Sanji's backstory. You see, the story that was told in the anime is that Zeph lost his leg when he dove underwater to save Sanji and got stuck. But that's not actually what happened. In the manga, he didn't get stuck underwater at all. Instead, he gave all his food to Sanji and managed to survive from, you guessed it, cutting off his own leg and eating it. In fact, there are a lot of moments in the manga where it's simply a lot more gory than it was in the anime, like when Whitebeard died. Instead of having a hole in his chest, he had a hole in his head. Why they changed it, I don't know, but it's probably for the best, let's be real. If you're an anime only watcher, drop a like if you didn't know about that, and if you've read the manga, what are your thoughts on them toning it down in the anime? Let me know in the comments, and let's get into the next insane, terrifying backstory in One Piece. Eating your own leg is far from the worst thing someone has eaten in One Piece, notably Big Mom. We saw firsthand how insane Big Mom is and how large her diet is, but her backstory tells just how hungry Big Mom actually is. On her 6th birthday at 6 years old, her family gave her a cake, and she was so happy that she started crying tears of joy, and she ate the cake, and without seeing through the tears, she ate the table, the chairs, her family, and her mom. Waking up from her trance, seeing just the clothes of her family, wondering where they went, until she realized she ate her entire family, including her own mother. Like Big Mom, lots of characters in One Piece grow up without a family. Just like Robin, the sole survivor of Ohara, an island full of scholars of people wanting to learn a language. Something harmless, right? But to the government, this was far from harmless because it would reveal the dark secrets that they committed during the Void Century. Because of this, once again, the government resorted to genocide, electing to destroy the entire island and all the people who lived there. And the survivors that happened to end up on a government ship heading to a prison were also slaughtered by a single man, Akainu. Just because he felt it wasn't enough justice to let them live, he took matters into his own hands and sunk their ship against his own orders. That's right, this dark day in One Piece history was made even darker, all because Akainu couldn't stand to see people living. But this isn't the only horrible backstory about an island being destroyed. Let me introduce you to Uta. Oh yeah, slight spoilers for One Piece Film Red. I mentioned earlier how Shanks returned to Luffy without Uta. On their voyage to Elgia, why didn't she return? On this island, she was learning how to sing, and the people there loved her ability. They thought of her as a prodigy, and she was training to become an incredible singer. How did something as lighthearted as singing end up to the destruction of the island? Well, not only did the inhabitants love her singing, but so did a demon. Because evil also recognized her incredible abilities, she ended up with a music sheet, and unknowingly, she sang the notes on this sheet that would soon release the demon that would destroy the entire island. But it gets worse than that, because when she released the demon, she became unconscious, and the only person that was able to stop this force was Shanks. Why While Uta laid unconscious, Shanks was saving the island from destruction. Shanks left her with the only other survivor, her music teacher, Gordon. Once she regained consciousness, she saw her father sailing away without her. Without knowing what happened and forgetting that she released the demon, she developed a grudge against her father because she would not find out for another year that she actually unleashed a demon that destroyed her island, and her father took the blame in her place. Taking this sad story about a little girl destroying an island in innocence to an even darker one where she lost a relationship with her father, all because someone took advantage of her ability to sing. Leading us to the plot of One Piece Film Red, where we can see that Uta can't rest easily here either because the 5 elders are after her and they want to stop her from singing. So their solution again is sending a fleet and destroying everything there. They love doing that. What are your guys' thoughts? What is the most disturbing story that I told you today? I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in my next video.